Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of our wonderful and juicy and delicious little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, my delicious babies. And I hope that you're all super duper well wherever you are in the world and that life is treating you oh so deliciously. 3, 2, 1, beam me up, okay? Now then, with my juicy little lads. Now, I hope you're all super duper well, my delicious babies, okay? And that life has been treating you oh so deliciously. Now then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to any passers-by, okay? So I hope that you too are having a super duper time wherever you are in the world and that life too is treating you oh so deliciously. Now then, my weather in my old neck of the woods in the old UK, well, I've just taken my beautiful and delicious little Ruby Tuesday for a walk and it is very windy, everybody. It has been all night as well, and yesterday, well, raining, and today, yes, even though the sun, you know, is shining, it is extremely cold, okay? Now, I've been speaking to many, actually, and they've all been saying the same thing to me, actually, and that is that it's really not feeling like November at all. Do you see what I mean? I mean, could it be that they're sort of, you know, rolling this fake, which is another scam, climate change, everybody, okay? So that you just change the weather, you know, because like I said, you have like 8 zuzum, which go up in the sky daily, everybody. In fact, it's rather blatant, okay? So for those who do not see it, well, all I can really say is, you know, not being disrespectful to anybody, by the way, but I'm not sure where they, you know, where they're looking. Sorry. Okay. Because I can see it perfectly well. Okay. So anyway, so there are some things that I'd like to say. So this is a surprise, isn't it? No. It's never a surprise, is it, everybody? Okay, with what I have to say, because I always have to say something. Okay. So I'm going to start with, I mean, some of you might find it, very interesting. For others of you, maybe you will not find it very interesting, okay? So if you do happen to find my video interesting, okay, if you please like to click on the like. And for others of you, if you do happen to stumble across my channel and you do enjoy the videos that I send out, well, if you'd kindly like to subscribe, if you'd like to also share my videos, if you find them interesting, and finally, if you'd like to leave me a comment, please, you know, that's always welcomed. Please feel free to do so. Now, unfortunately, everybody, okay, so we're going back down this road again, everybody, okay, because unfortunately, well, if there's a comment that comes up for whatever reason, I mean, I do not know, unless somebody's just put in something blank, okay, you know, blankety blank. Do you see what I mean? Then, of course, I'm not going to be able to read it, unfortunately. Do you know what I mean? And at other times, I mean, there was a comment that was there, I do believe, for a day and a half. Then all of a sudden it just disappeared, but there was nothing to see. So I couldn't even read what was there. Everybody, okay? And then, of course, you know, we're back to this again, which I've mentioned, you know, time and time again, where I could have so many views and then these views, get reduced. So, you know, I mean, you could understand if somebody clicks on a like, you know, on any video, on anybody's platform, you know, they can click on it, then they can click back off. But it's how the old views are working. So if somebody's viewed something, well, surely they've viewed it, haven't they, everybody? Do you know what I mean? To me, I just use my old noddle. It's common sense. Do you see what I mean? So somebody must be behind the scenes, you see, yes. Somebody must be behind the scenes to reduce that. Do you see what I'm saying to everybody? But I'm not worried, not a worry to me. Okay, my delicious babies. So I'm just letting you know, okay? I am not ignoring if somebody is so very kind, because I am rather new, to even send me a comment. Do you see what I'm saying to my delicious babies? So it's not me, everybody, so just to let you know that. Now, I also just like to mention before, because, you know, throughout my video, okay, so I would like just to mention as well that not at any time am I a racist or prejudiced over anything that I say, okay? And I just like to make that point clear. So if anybody feels that way, okay, then I thank them for the time that they would be watching my video for, okay? But if they're not happy about it, then please, I beg you with the Lord of mercy, and I will keep repeating it, please move from my channel, skip my channel, please and thank you, okay? Because my intention is not there at all to hurt, offend or upset anybody. What my intention is, everybody, is to have different discussions on different things, okay, that sometimes may not always be very comfortable for some to listen to. Do you see what I'm saying? But if we all went around like that, everybody, and we all just sort of, you know, turned a blind eye to everything, well, nothing would ever be talked about, and then nothing would ever get done, would it? No. Okay, so I just want to start today about the NHS. So we want to get back to this again, okay? So my thoughts on the NHS are this, okay? You've still got doctors and nurses. I do not care what anybody tells me. I really do not, you know, okay? You know, that does not mean yes, by the way, okay? I just happen to be looking out my window. What it is this, at the end of the day, right, you've still got doctors and nurses who, it seems very much to me, and in other places, where they seem to be still, you know, let's just say, giving out the old jab, 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 jab. Do you see what I'm saying to you, yes? And it appears to me, and I do not care what anybody says to me, that they appear to have absolutely no skin on their face with what they're doing. Do you see what I mean? It's like they close their eyes and they close their ears to everything. Do you see what I mean? Now, I've said before and I'll say it again. So, over the decades, you know, there's been a number of different operations and a lot of different things, everybody, okay? And I'm not saying that, you know, some have not been helped. I am not saying that, okay? Because everybody has a different story, don't they? Whoever's been to a, you know, to a hospital, okay? But the things that I've always disagreed with, well, there's been a number of things that I've always disagreed with, actually, everybody. But the things that I disagree with are things like, you know, where you have a camera, you know, going straight down your throat and things like that, you know, where you've got a man or woman there flipping gagging. Do you know what I mean? Just to be able to breathe. Do you know what I mean? When they're not doing that, they're heaving. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? Well, I personally, whatever the definition is of human, what we seem to have been named over the decades, okay? Well, I mean, I just do not see that as being very humane myself. Do you see what I mean? Just like when I have heard about everybody bodged up job, I wouldn't say bodge up, well, it is a bodge up job, sorry, okay? To do with bodge up jobs, you know, operations where somebody, they call themselves a surgeon, should not be allowed anywhere near a man, woman, or little bairn, little child. Do you see what I'm saying to everybody? But of course, we've had this for so many decades now. Of course, if anybody's ever gone to put in a complaint for whatever reason, well, of course, because it's such a large you know, corporation and everything else, right? We all know who's pulling the strings behind. Yes. Well, it usually fails, doesn't it, everybody? Yes. And the reason why it fails is because obviously you've got other forces who, do you know what I mean, do everything in their power, okay, to allow these things to continue to happen, everybody. So I just thought I'd mention that. So what I want to say to you is about the old NHS. It's not about, okay, we can hear on other platforms, on hundreds of other platforms, we can hear about, oh, well, there needs to be changes, there needs to be this, there needs to be that. No, what I would say is that there needs to be where we have natural remedies, okay, because we have everything on this planet, okay, with plants and other things, okay. We have hundreds of different plants, leaves and all different things, okay, even flowers, okay, where the thing is that, you know, we can use all of these things which can help to get man, woman and little bairns, children better. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? Instead of doing all of these other terrible things. Okay, because as much as you can get somewhere to say, oh yes, an operation, for example, has been successful, but it seems to me that one does not hear about all of the most awful experiences that some have had to endure. Do you see what I'm saying to everybody? Yes? So really, what this really comes down to, what I have to say here, because you do have your genuine doctors and you do have your genuine nurses, but it seems that they are outnumbered by the flipping putrid and bad ones. Do you see what I mean? The ones who just get on with things, take a ka-ching, pound, shilling, pence, dollars and change, take a wage, okay? Just to make others' lives misery. Do you see what I mean, everybody? And I do not care what anybody tells me. That is how I see things. Okay, I'm not going to change my view, anybody. No, I will not. Okay, so really what should happen is that there needs to be teachings, everybody, in how we can actually, teach doctors and nurses where they can be retrained, okay, in all of the natural remedies. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yes? And that's how I see it. Now, there are a lot of others in the world, there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands, okay, who go to visit healers. Do you see what I'm saying to you? There's all different types of healers, okay? Then there are some absolutely, I've said it before and I'll say it again, there are absolutely some superb, and wonderful healers out there. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? So the reason why, because there's lots of different reasons why somebody, would visit a healer. Sometimes it could be where maybe they've got aches and pains somewhere, and they just want their pain easing, everybody. For others, maybe they've got some personal issues, that they want to discuss, and they just want their body relaxing. Do you understand what I mean? So that they can have clear thinking, which of course, as we all know over the decades, that they're trying to take it away from us, clear thinking. Do you see what I'm saying to everybody? Yes? So there's many different reasons why somebody would visit a healer. Just like there are many different reasons why somebody would visit a hospital, okay? So that's what I'm saying. But if they was just to be taught a new way of doing things, right? Because really, human beings should not really ever be poorly. Do you see what I mean? It is because of what has gone into the food chain, our water chain, and everything else, which has made, and still is, so many poorly. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yes? So that is how, I see things, and I also see things as healthy eating and, and different things like that. Do you see what I mean? Which can help. A man or a woman or a Ben, it's all about lifestyle as well. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, it's just like, you could go out and get 30 minutes of exercise just by walking. Do you see what I mean? Just to get your old muscles going. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not here to lecture and I'm not here to bore. I'm just here because the way I see things. So I'm not being disrespectful to anybody, any of my beautiful and delicious little babies out there, or anybody who happens to pass me by, on my channel. I'm just saying that a lot of this is common sense. Yes, there we go. Yes, it is. Everybody, do you see? So if we had more of that and less of the other, then I actually believe that man and woman and bairns, okay, would start to feel so much better. Do you see what I'm saying to you, everybody? Yes? So I'm just going to have a sip of my coffee, please, and thank you. So yes, so that's how I see things, everybody. Do you see what I mean? They need to scrap the whole lot and start all over again. That is what I believe. Okay, and anybody who has been complicit, in the old jab, and had no skin on their face whilst they've been doing that, okay, well, boot them out, get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? If they have to go and get another job, let them go and get another job. Do you see what I mean? But we do not need disgusting individuals like that, okay? Because they're certainly not there to help us, okay? And like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, all of a sudden they're talking about, and then of course, you know, they're expecting everybody to brush everything under the carpet when we had mainstream media, please excuse me, mainstream media, we had them all, didn't we? Do you understand what I mean? Which were pushing everybody, you know, having a go at anyone like myself who did not want to have any definitely jab. Do you see what I mean? To make us all look awful and terrible, okay? And that we are the ones who are spreading everything. No. And now they expect these mainstream media, and everything else. Now they expect everybody just to go, oh yeah, that's all right. That's absolutely fine. Don't you worry about it. We forgive you. Well, let me tell you something, everybody. Now, yes, I am a qualified angelic healer and I do try to help as many as, yes, I do. I try my hardest to help as many as what I can. Do you understand what I mean? But here's what I have to say, everybody. No, I do not forgive. Now, some would say, well, you know, sometimes you've got to let it go, let it go. No, I refuse. And if anybody thinks that I'm awful out there, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but that's my views and that's it. Because as far as I'm concerned, they have tricked, they have conned, they have forced, they have coerced, they have done everything. So as far as I'm concerned, there is no excuse whatsoever. And for most of these individuals, they never even took the time, anybody, to do any research at all. No, they did not. To do any research, right, into what exactly this was, which of course is just a common blooming cold. But of course you've still got ones out there, everybody, my delicious little babies who you speak to, and there's quite a number. And then, you know, when you talk to them, oh, I know someone who's had COVID. Do you understand what I mean? It's like, where's the common cold? Where's the flu? Do you see what I mean? Yes? You try to talk to them. I'm so sorry to have to say this, everybody, but they're completely flipping brainwashed. So, of course, it's up to everybody who has not had the definitely jab, to be able to help those out there who have taken it, this poison, because that's what it is. And, of course, you know, they're still trying to censor. But again, this is what I have to say, and I'm going to flipping bring this up again, everybody. The fact of the matter is, so certain are allowed to say things. I've noticed that for quite a long time, everybody, and others are not allowed to say it. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So it makes one wonder, doesn't it? Ka-ching, payroll. Do you see what I'm saying, everybody? Yes? So that's what I have to say, everybody. Now, some may agree with me, some may disagree, but that's the whole point, isn't it? Everybody should have a right to say or to express, there we go, how they feel about things. Do you see what I mean? But let me tell you, and I'm not negative, I mean, I always like to have every single morning when I wake up a positive mental attitude at all times, okay? But let me tell you, this is not the end. And you're going to be seeing more out there getting angry, there we go, before I even say it, angrier and angrier and angrier at what has been done to them. I mean, it just disgusts me, everybody. I just get so flipping disgusted. It's unflipping real. Because you see these mainstream and it's like they talk about nothing's gone on. It's disgusting. And all the passings and all the disablements and everything. Oh, but that doesn't matter. Because they were just getting paid the wage. Ka-ching! Do you see what I mean? They're disgusting. And I'm going to even go this far as well. They should all be wiped off the flipping face of this planet. That's what should happen to them. Anyway, so I'm going to tick that off, everybody. That's what I have to say there. And I do believe that with a lot of us in the world, you know, who are trying to make these positive changes for natural remedies and natural everything else, yes, that somewhere we will get somewhere. Yes, we will, because I have a positive mental attitude, everybody, at all times, okay? Now then, the second thing is this, and again, you see this is on BitChute, okay? So it's on BitChute, and it is called, because you need to go to on BitChute, the gentleman who's uploaded it is called, well, it's under We Got a Problem. Okay, so it's We Got a Problem, okay? He has been around for, right, there we go, for rather a long time, actually, everybody, okay? And the title of his video is We Must Never Forget, okay? So it's very interesting, everybody. It's about 20 minutes long, okay? But the fact of the matter is it's very interesting so that you can see over these past, you know, few years, you know, everything what's been going on, okay? But of course, others expect everybody just to simply forget about it. Well, I do not. No, I flipping well do not at what's being done to man, woman and bairn out there and our beautiful animals. Okay, so no, I have not forgotten. And if anybody feels that I'm a bad woman, well then fine. I do not have to justify myself to anybody. That's my views, and that's the views that I stick to. And I woke up early this morning, sorry, and that's how I felt, and that's how I still feel. Yes. Okay? So that's that. So we must never forget, BitChute, We Got a Problem. So if some of you, my delicious and wonderful little babies, could kindly have a look on that site, then you'll be able to listen for yourself, okay? Then you can make your own judgments, okay? Please and thank you. Now, finally, I was listening to... You've heard me before for, you know, some of my wonderful and delicious little babes out there who are so very, very kind to subscribe to me. God bless you, yes. And thank you, okay? And who've been so very kind to follow me because you understand the way I rock and roll, clearly. Do you see what I'm saying to everybody? Yes. But for others, they may not understand me, okay? So, again, it's just a case of taking the time, to try and understand another point of view or another man or woman out here, okay? So if you'd like to please go on to, this is on YouTube, by the way, everybody, okay? So if you'd like to look in a little box, yes, and it is, if you could please type in, The Rape of Britain, Part 2, okay? And it's the full documentary, okay? So I'll just repeat that once again on YouTube, The Rape of Britain, Part 2, full documentary, okay? Now, the one who uploaded it, oh, blooming well forgot now, is it the Queen? The Queen something channel, I forgot to, I'm awfully sorry everybody, I forgot to write the last bit down, that's not like me. Anyway, I do apologise everybody, okay? So I can close my book now, okay? Anyway, you'll see it, it says the Queen something channel, okay? So you will be able to see it, everybody, okay? So it's very interesting to take a listen and to please to watch this video. And the reason why I say this, everybody, is because I am going to mention this gentleman again, and his name is Tony Robinson. Sorry, not Tony Robinson. Do forgive me. I don't know what made me say Tony then. Tommy Robinson, sorry. So please do forgive me. Tommy Robinson, okay? Now, he has worked tirelessly, yes he has, okay, to help our British white girls, okay, who were actually being groomed and raped by Pakistani gangs in the UK, okay? Now, what it is this, okay? I've already said what I said at the start. I'm not a racist. So if anybody feels that of me, I'm very sorry that you feel that way. I do not have to justify myself. Some things are uncomfortable to talk about, but I am going to discuss it, okay? So I was listening to this video, okay? and it is over an hour long, everybody, okay? And yes, very interesting, but of course, you know, I've followed Tommy for quite a while, everybody, okay? And I personally do not have anything at all against this gentleman, because what he's trying to do is help, and he does happen to know rather a lot about a number of things, okay? And one being the Quran. Okay, no, I'm not here to have a pop at anybody else's religion. No, I'm not. Because we could say in many different religions that there are lots of flaws. Okay, what I'm saying is that what seems to have been fed, and of course we have to go back, you see. This is all about research, everybody, going back in time. Okay, and what is very interesting, right, is when you look, because if you actually take a look at who writes, you know, these Bibles and everything, and that talks about all different religions as well, everybody, yes, and it just seems over the decades, yes, that more and more little things get added on. Do they not? Yes, they do, okay? But he found himself where, yes, I mean, you know, he's spoken to, God bless these beautiful, dear little lassies' souls, okay? And, he, you know, and he's spoken to them, you know, on a number of occasions. Do you understand what I mean? And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, everybody, it's absolutely heartbreaking to listen. There we go. It's heartbreaking to listen to, because those young lassies, okay, even though, you know, they're a bit older now, okay? Well, look at what's being done to them. Now, that will live with them for the rest of their lives, everybody. So it means that, you know, if they decided to go into a relationship, you know, with whoever they wanted to go into a relationship with, well, straight away, I mean, there's lots of what I would have said, what I would have thought, sorry, would be intimacy issues. Do you see what I'm saying to you? You know, trust issues, lots of different issues. So I actually find these young lassies extremely brave, okay, for explaining their stories, telling their stories about what happened to them. And this has been going on for a very long time, everybody, a very long time. But with our lovely Tommy Robinson, God bless him, right? I mean, he's had death threats, okay? He's had death threats over these years. He's been imprisoned because he spoke out. Do you see what I mean? Because he's trying to help. And he's also trying to make everybody else aware as well. Do you see what I'm saying to everybody? Yes? You know, he's had where his family was, you know, broken down. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yes? So, you know, that dear gentleman, you know, really has gone to flipping what I call, you know, well, you know, I don't particularly believe that there's a hell, but anyway, but the fact of the matter is, but just as a figure of speech, you know, he's gone to flipping hell and back, exposing these putrid flipping creatures, these gangs who feel it's absolutely hunky-dory tickety-boo. And what is it? That white girls, everybody, right? Well, they can be slaves for these Pakistani gangs. Yes. You see what I'm saying, everybody? You need to listen to the film, everybody, for my wonderful and delicious little babies out there, to get an understanding of what I'm saying here. Please and thank you. Because you see, I mean, even when in this, you know, video in the film, okay, and the one who was, you know, who Tommy Robinson, you know, approached, you know, in this restaurant, right? I mean, just one look at him. Just one look at him is enough for somebody to flipping project in a bucket. Disgusting creature. Do you see what I mean? to me, and I do not care what anybody says to me, anybody, they're filthy, dirty creatures is what they are. Do you know what I mean? And they think that they've got every right. That's how they feel, everybody. They feel that they've got every right just to, do you know what I mean? To groom a young bairn, a young lass. Yes? And then for flipping, 6 or 7 men to rape her. Do you see what I mean? One dear young lass, she had to go to the hospital. She took herself to the hospital. She was 15. She took herself to the hospital, everybody, okay? She'd been raped. I like to keep my channel clean, everybody. She'd been raped in both areas of her body, everybody, okay? She was in a terrible state. And that's what they did. And they're running restaurants. And then you have the men who are in the restaurants and in between serving, raping. Yes. Okay. Well, I've known about a lot over these years. Yes, I have. I've known about a lot of it. Do you know what I mean? But here's what I'm going to go and say, everybody. I'm not going to shut up. It needs to be spoken about. And what's the first thing they come out with when Tommy Robinson approaches them? Oh, you're a racist. So they use the old flipping racist card. We hear too much of that, don't we, everybody? And I'm talking to everybody out there. We hear far too much of that. Oh, you're a racist this, you're a racist that. What, because when the truth is pointed out? Yes, because the truth is pointed out. And of course, these putrid and flipping wicked creatures, what they are, right? The fact of the matter is, so what do? When they're not a-liking? Well, they start shouting and swearing, don't they? Do you see what I mean? Now, as I've always been one to believe, that if somebody shouts and swears and runs off their mouth, do you understand what I mean? That usually tells me somebody's, there we go, before I even say it, guilty. Do you see what I mean? Because if somebody's not guilty, well, surely, you know, they'd be very casual, very calm about everything, wouldn't they? You see what I mean? But you should have seen it. Do you see what I'm saying to you, everybody? Yes? So this has got nothing to do with racism. What this has got to do with, okay, is their beliefs, okay, these Pakistani grooming gangs, their beliefs, yes, that they can just take a young lass, yes, and do what the hell they like with her. Do you see, everybody? Okay? So, yes, it's a very, very interesting video to watch, everybody, okay? Now, like I say, there we go. Now, like I say, there's a lot that who are out there, you know, maybe they will not be comfortable with me saying what I've just said. Well, why not? Do you know what I mean? Because as far as I'm concerned, it seems very much to me that, and I'm only speaking as I find everybody, that it's all right for someone to talk about Christianity. There we go. It's all right for somebody to talk about that, but it's not all right to discuss certain other religions. Do you see what I mean? Okay? So, I mean, when I look at it, right, I'm just looking at things from a different point of view here. So when we see that somebody, whoever wrote, you know, Bibles, yes, right, I'm just speaking from how, you know, I'm just looking at things from a different angle, right? Now, you see, you have to look at what has gone on in somebody's life, there we go, right, before I even say it, for somebody to even write things in these Bibles. Now, I'm not saying, everybody, right, that every single, doesn't matter who you are, what religion, okay, you know, that everybody is bad. I am not saying that, okay? What I am saying is how certain see things, how they see things to be, there we go, acceptable, okay? Whereas to whatever our definition is of normal, okay, to everybody else is not normal. Do you see what I'm saying to you? But it's certainly not normal to just get a young lass, right, and be picking her up from school, everything else, right, grooming her, doing all these things, yes? And then pinning her down so that men can rape her, who are twice her age. No, it is not acceptable and it is not normal. Okay? And it is rape. Now, it also seems that, of course, you know, which I've known a long time anyway, but you see, when things were reported, you know, with the old foot soldiers, right, in our country, right, well, nothing got done. Do you see what I mean? So these gangs are just allowed to do whatever they feel they want to do, and that nobody can do anything about it. Do you see what I mean, everybody? So the whole point to my video, as well as giving out my information and everything, everybody, right, is to make others aware, or to make them more aware of what's going on. Because for some of you delicious little babies, you will already know about this, but for others of you, you are not. But it's so interesting to watch this video, this film, because this is real life and it's happening in real time, okay? And it's been happening for flipping years, and yet nothing has got done about it. And like I say, them poor lassies, they've got to live with that for the rest of their lives. And they were called all sorts of names from these men, these dirty, filthy creatures. Because that's what they are, dirty, filthy creatures. I could say a lot more, but I'm going to stop it there, everybody. Because I know if, put it this way, I know what I know, and I know what I would do. But anyway, that's just me, right? So anybody can take it as they will. But to me, and I'm not being disrespectful to anybody, so if anybody takes me that way, then fine. But those particular ones, right, I tell you what, any mother should be flipping disgusted at having a flipping so-called son like that. Disgusted. Should be disgusted with themselves having a son like that. Really, they should. Do you know what I mean? Filthy. So I do agree with Tommy Robinson. You know, for those of you out there who do happen to live in the UK, I agree with everything he said towards the end. Please think twice when you're ordering from, you know, restaurants, certain restaurants. Do you see what I mean? In certain areas. Because this has been going on a long time. What goes on behind the scenes. See what I mean? Yes. And apparently, oh yeah, it's supposed to be a pure religion. I'm not saying it's about everybody. So in case that's what everybody feels, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they class it as that, and then they put down flipping Christianity. Do you know what I mean? And they put down the white man and woman out here. Do you know what I mean? You know, at the end of the day, if they don't like things, then they know what to do, don't they? Do you know what I mean? But not to flipping keep the nastiness in our flipping neck of the woods in the old UK, because we do not want it. And we do not want scum like that, because that's what they are, everybody. They're scum. There's no other word for them. Well, I could think of a lot worse words, okay? But they're scum. And that's my views, and I do not care what anybody says. And let's face it, that is somebody's daughter, somebody's granddaughter, somebody's niece. Do you see what I mean? That's the point I'm making, everybody. Since when does anybody have the right to go around raping anybody? Nobody has a right to rape anybody. No, they do not. No means no. And our so-called flipping foot soldiers, as far as I'm concerned, in that particular neck of the woods, right, should be doing their flipping jobs properly. And if they cannot do the job properly, then flipping leave the force and get somebody in who is going to do things properly. And that's where we need all of these changes, everybody. We need to boot the governments out. They're all part of it. Every single one of them are part of it. And that is my feelings, everybody. I'm not going to change my feelings. Not at all. And I'm not going to apologise for anything I've said, because I was not putting down everybody. I was talking about certain flipping putrid creatures is what I was talking about. Anyway, that's all I have to say, everybody. So please take a look. Do you understand what I mean? Because then you're going to get where I'm coming from, everybody. But I tell you what, I take my flipping hat off to your man there, to that dear gentleman, Tommy Robinson. Yes, I do. Do you see what I mean? And I believe that he should be far more respected. Yes, I do. Do you know what I mean? Because there's not many of him around. Do you know? No, see? There is not many of him around. Do you see what I mean? Who's trying to stop this. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. So I'm sorry if I wasn't shouting at anybody anyway. I'm just giving my views on things, but I wasn't talking about every single solitary Muslim. No, I was not. Okay? I'm just making my point as to how I see things. Nobody has a right to do anything like that. They're disgusting. I could say a lot more, everybody, but I'm just going to leave it like that, okay? So thank you so very much for watching my video today. Much love to you all, okay? Please have a wonderful morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, okay? And until my next video, God bless, take care, thank you, goodbye.